Well, we're getting some much needed rain. I got this Mercury 75 horsepower that I've been working on. I was doing a video and the audio crapped out, the whole introduction. So anyway, just thought I would take a moment and introduce this. I've got to do a service where I delete the oiler and water pump. I got it running, check the compression. You'll see that all in the video coming up. Meanwhile, it is just raining. But yeah, our buddy Jim brought this motor over, and he brought this motor over, and then he brought me 2 donor motors. They're down there. And that one is from our other friend. But yeah, so anyway, I did a service on this guy. Very clean motor, runs great. Give you a little look at it since I'm going to put this, anyway, everything works, everything's really great shape. Let's say this was late 90s. I looked it up, I couldn't find a real good date on it, so still get parts for them. These guys, you can still get parts for them, but they're getting harder to find. Anyway, just wanted to show you guys that, and thanks to him for bringing these over, and anyway, enjoy the video. Alright, so the first thing I gotta do, I want to do is take the side panel to get access to all this electrical components. Yes, 5/16. Yeah. Anyway, I hope everybody had a good 4th. Ours was fine. It was just it was uneventful. Of course, the neighborhood's like a war zone from Afghanistan, I say. They like to shoot their fireworks off around here. But by the time that happened, man, I was so tired. I just went to bed. Anyway, that gets us access to all our electrical wiring. Put our little screws back where we found them. These kind of have a rev limiter, and there's a couple solenoids for the trim. We're going to need this solenoid so we can use our remote start. Yeah, just move that out of the way just so I can get to it. And I don't have it hooked up to a battery or anything yet. He said it was backfiring, so I guess one thing we should do is look at to make sure all of our coils are going the right direction. So there we have a red. So we got black and yellow. And this would be normally like our kill wire. So we can just go ahead and disconnect that, because if I need to, then I'll just touch it to ground to kill the engine. But anyway, but I think we need, I want to say we need power. I'm gonna have to pull up this wiring diagram. That's just the deal. So let's maybe cut this little piece. It's tie wrap just so it gives us a little more room. And this is a rev limiter. So that's probably one thing we'll have to check too. Let's see here. What do we do? Let's get we know we gotta undo the we gotta disconnect the oiler, but so I can prevent it from, well, I don't know. Like I said, I'm kind of just backtracking here a little bit. Let's just take these off and look at the condition of the spark plugs. How about that? We got to take them out anyway. It's like an L76Vs. One thing, like, get yourself a good spark plug wrench. That's an old one. I probably need to replace it. But get the kind with the rubber on the inside. You can't see it, but there's rubber in there, and it holds this, you know, this porcelain conductor so it doesn't get damaged. It's easy to get damaged, so I want to do that. And then, man, putting them in, don't like overly tighten them. I see that sometimes. Where it's like, guys think they gotta just go He-Man on it. Alright, come on. Anyway. Yeah, so it's got a little rubber mount in there where it keeps that conductor, you know. Otherwise, a regular socket would just move it off to the side and damage it. So that was number one. That looks like a brand new plug. We don't know if it's the right plug. I see that a lot too. People with the wrong plugs, they go down to AutoZone, they go down to O'Reilly, they go down to Napa, they go down to Advance, they go down to Pet Boys. Who else can I name here? And then they say, I need a spark plug, and then they tell them, and they're like, well, we can't get that plug, but we'll cross-reference it here, and you can put this, you know, you can put this plug in there. It wasn't designed for that plug. It can't cross-reference them. Occasionally, you can put, like on a Mercury, you can do like, you know, it may give you an NGK alternative, but I don't know. And my experience is like if it's you know, it's a motor like Mercury or Johnson Evinrude, you know, you're gonna put an American-made Champion plug in it. If it's a Japanese motor, then like it's I don't know, Yamaha, Honda, Suzuki, you're gonna put a Japanese plug in it. It's just how they design the motors. They're gonna run better. Now I've had a couple of occasions where like those BUH W2s, those are good plugs, and I put them in Mercury sometimes. They run pretty good, but for the most part. So we know this is 1, 2, 3. And we're gonna get a little spark checker and do all that stuff. We know we're gonna do a water pump, so I don't even care if it's in water, I guess. I guess I could fire it up. He wants a water pump done anyway. So we can put it on a hose. I think I do want to tilt it up just to see if I can get a bucket underneath it. Because I got a big tub over there that I could put underneath it. So let me get a battery. That's probably all I want to do since it's on a stand. Just tilt it up enough that I can get over here and get my tub in there and see if it'll fit up underneath it. Alright, maybe. block it up. I always gotta use the Jenga blocks. I'm gonna have to put some kind of either vice grips or I've done this before too. Let me show you. Let me get the camera out of the sun. Get some kind of clamp put here so that is not going to go anywhere. I guess we can do all the normal stuff, you know, check your compression, check your spark, take our front plate off here so we can look inside those carburetors, see what they look like. Put some water in it, guys. Alright, I got my compression gauge out here that I have in a Pittsburgh case, but it's actually Nova, and I don't remember how you call this. It's not a great one, but it's still better than nothing. So while I'm doing this, I do a compression test, check spark. And once I know that, then I can get out my timing light and see where our timing is initial. And then maybe I can advance the time and see where that's at. And I've got some water in the tub, as you guys can see, maybe. Yeah, got some water in the tub. May still have to. He said it was backfiring. I don't know. You know, like, you know, we can check the wiring there. I guess we could check to see if we have, like, if he happens to have like a trigger that's faulty triggering. There's a bunch of stuff we can do. First thing I'm gonna do is check this compression test. And yeah, same old story. Do the basics and then work back from there, you know. So this is just gonna go to a ground somewhere. Doesn't really matter. Let me do it over here though. Plenty places to ground. I got my gap at about a quarter. I'm not sure why my camera keeps wanting to shut off, but it does. I gotta get out my remote. And put this up here where it won't. Go to one side of the solenoid. It's hot. Alright, I think we're set up. Let's see if we can get anything. Now I've got, like I said, that disconnected from the, I don't know if you guys will be able to see the spark or not. Put you here, but with that sun, I don't know if we're going to be able to see that. Yeah, so that's showing like 125. Yeah, we got spark on all three. And yeah, my gosh, we're at like really good compression. I don't think you can see that, but that's 120, 130. Man, I'm saying like 138. Really good compression. Let me get us a pen and mark this. Alright. And I don't know if you'll be able to see this one or not. I'm gonna stick it up here like so. Probably can't see that. Anyway. And I'm looking at about 130. I'm gonna say 135. And we got some water, so the pump is working. That's good news. So, yeah, I don't know if you guys see that. That's 135. And it's holding, so that's good. He did say he checked it and it was good compression, but I like to, you know, verify. I've just been burned in the past where, oh yeah, it's got good compression, and then they tell you anything, and then you find out it doesn't. So. And that one's a little lower. It's, I'm going to call it 130. Alright, now, get rid of this. We'll check our initial timing. And see what that is. And it's still oiling, which is good. But he wants to delete the oiler, which I don't blame him. Because when they go bad, they don't tell you. Well, you're supposed to have, the alarm's supposed to tell you. Then you gotta have an alarm working. You make sure that alarm's working. None of that's working, then all of a sudden you got a blown engine. Alright, so there's that. Let me get my timing light. I can't remember, but I think this one fires 132. Alright, we got my grandpa's time. I got my grandpa's timing light out here because I got to shoot through this window. And one thing you can do is like go up here and make sure your dots are visible. What I'm saying is make sure you can see your timing marks. So I may take this off, check this, even do my marks. On the front of this it tells you for proper step-by-step procedure. Okay, look in the manual. Alright, idle spark 6 degrees before top dead center, 2 degrees after top dead center at 300 RPMs. So we can crank this pretty good with no spark plugs in it. But we want to look and make sure our timing marks are where they're supposed to be. And we can see them, so when we put the light up there, we can see the marks. And I don't know, you know, he could have had a backfire from several reasons, like, because this one, you know, you got to adjust that. Oiler, you got to adjust the carb. I mean, there's a lot to it. This thing's got a rectifier, it's got an idle stabilizer. These have a bunch of stuff. A bunch of moving parts. Alright, so that gets that off of there. I'm just going to temporarily take that out just so I can see my marks. Yeah. So they're saying 6 to 2. So 2, 4, 6, 8.
10. Alright, let's make a mark. Let's make some marks. And it just will help. So they're saying 2, which I'll make a mark there. 2, 4, 6. That's our window for our idle timing. And then it says max of spark 20 degrees before top dead center at 300 RPMs, and it's automatically reduced to 18 degrees before top dead center at 8,000. So the power pack is taking care of that for us. So we're looking for this 20. So when I go to wide open, we're going to check this and see if that's our problem. Now we can put this back on. Maybe. Come on now. Oh. What is going on here? Did I get him? Yeah. Alright, so now I can hook up. I got my timing, Grandpa Chandler's timing light. So I got this. This all works out. So first thing is I'll do is check and make sure I got. We do. Now I can just point here. I don't know if I can. You guys can see this or not. Right now it's right at the 0. I kind of feel like that's the furthest you want it. So we're going to loosen this and see if we can't get it to. So if you think about it, 2 to 6. Okay, so that's really 8. So we're going to shoot for 4 degrees. We may have, maybe just a carburation issue. But this down here is our, that's our, what? 10. Alright, so that's 2. Let's see if we back it out some. It's kind of like 1 turn each. Alright, why is this not 1 turn? Wow. Guess they got it rusted. Alright, well that does not want to move. See if that'll get it to turn. Wow. Okay. Wow. Wow. There it goes. I don't know how many turns I went there. Let's see what that does. Yeah, that took it even further, so we need to go in the other way. Try that. It's better, but it's not right. Try that. I think it's going to pick up once it, so we're still going to have to go in more. It's pretty far. That's right in between those two. So now that we got that set, we'll lock it down. Alright, that's locked. Now we can go to our advanced timing. That's going to be this guy. So this is going to get pulled all the way in. And we may have to get, I may have to get something to hold it. Yeah, because how you going to do both at once? This will go in here somehow. It'll probably fall off, but at least I can get an idea of what it looks like. Hopefully it's dead on. It is. It's pretty good. I mean, I kind of feel like it's probably should come out of here. Let's get the front cover off. I mean, I think this is pretty good. You know? So now, if we're at this, then our leakage right here is like nowhere close to where it should be. Which means, what does that mean? So we need to loosen this up to get this here level with our, for the carb. I'm pretty sure that that's, I have to go look in the manual, but I'm pretty sure this is. Somebody had that really screwed in there. Yeah, now that gets us level with that. Because that should be all the way. Alright, so then I'm going to take this front plate off. I'll be back. Thanks for watching. Alright, I went and looked up the year, and it doesn't really say. It does. I wanted to verify we have the right spark plugs, which we do. So it's possible he had a backfire issue because what? I don't know. Why did he have a backfire issue? Let's see if these spark plugs are good. I'll just put it on continuity since it's a 78V. That one's good. They look new. But it's always good to verify because you don't know. That's good. Okay, that's good. Alright, so then let's do a test where maybe I put these back in, hook up some gasoline to it, and see if we can get it to bark off. That's what we'll do. Set these down here because I got to set my tank right here. And I'm probably going to put a Mercury plug on it. So let me get to doing that. I'll be back. Okay, I went ahead and hooked up my fuel, put the spark plug back in. I had to go find a connector for my fuel. So that seems to be alright. To manually choke this, they got a little choke thing, and you can push this button in and it'll allow fuel in there. And we're going to see if we can get it to bark up. And then I may run it out of fuel, or I'll disconnect the little stop wire. Runs all right to me. Perfect speed. Use my kill wire to kill it. I mean, yeah, it's running fine. So, I think what we need to do, figure out what we got to do to disconnect that oiler, and then we can ship it. So, oh, I guess one thing we could do, we could test to see if this is charging. That way I can just know everything about it. So let me start it again. See if it'll start right back. Yeah. That's pretty good. Looks like carbs seem fairly clean. So I have to get my thing to suck up all this oil, unfortunately. Wish there was a better way where I could just disconnect a line and then get all the oil out of that tank. I don't know. Hey, Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for watching and liking the videos. And if this helps you, then that's great, because that's why I'm doing it. And if you don't mind, just go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time on a Hawkeye Marine.